Hello everyone, do you ever wish that you had more time to practice your guitar? Maybe you're on your commute on the way home, just itching to get there, just to get back to your instrument, or anywhere else that you're standing in a line somewhere feeling that you're wasting precious practice time. Well, I know exactly how you feel, and you might have seen me with a guitar in my hands in all kinds of weird places such as cars, vans, even airplanes, but it's not always possible to actually have a guitar with us. So today I'm going to show you how to practice guitar without a guitar. You actually can and will develop dexterity, control, and strength. I've spent hundreds of hours through the years practicing without a guitar with great results. The first very simple yet extremely important thing I look at is to find a substitute for the guitar neck or fretboard, because we could just wiggle our fingers around like this in the air, but the ergonomics of playing the guitar are extremely important, especially if we're trying to fool our brain into thinking that we're actually playing. So the first substitute that I found, that I carry always with me no matter where I go, is my forearm. If I hold my forearm out like this and I place my hand on top of it, this certainly in shape and size almost fits the bill of a guitar neck. And then I can just move my fingers on top of it. Now, the only problem with this, looks a bit weird and maybe embarrassing out there in the world. So another substitute that works great, for example, in movie theaters or airplanes, is a water bottle. I don't have water bottles here at the house, but here's a little shampoo bottle, and it's the same thing. You can place it like this, and it will certainly work. It's a bit more inconspicuous than walking around like this, and it will save you some embarrassment. So what could we practice on these next substitutes? Well, I would say anything that has to do with memorization, with committing patterns and finger movement to memory. For example, let's say I'm working on scales and I'm working through my 3-note per string pattern. I'm out there and I have my bottle. I can certainly go through all the 7 patterns. I won't do all of them, but you get the idea how precise I can be as I practice my 3rd pattern, my 4th, like that. And as long as I'm mindful of the fret separation, so I have to imagine myself actually playing on a guitar, of the vertical separation of the strings, then this will be a very good approximation of how I would move on the fretboard, and it will bring results. You can certainly use this method to also work on chords. Let's say, for example, I'm studying major 7th chords and I'm away from home, so I'll pick up my bottle and I can certainly practice my chords here. Now, this might not be a faithful representation of a guitar neck, but it's certainly good enough an approximation that I can use it to memorize all the fingerings for the chords. No doubt about it. And I can go through this as many times as I need to make sure that I have those chords memorized. Then when I do get home, I can focus on the little details and the intricacies of the chords without actually wasting time trying to remember where to place my fingers. There are also other exercises you can use to maintain or improve your brain to finger connection that don't use a neck substitute, but those kind of tend to blend into the therapeutic and rehabilitation finger stretches and exercises, and that's kind of a big subject beyond, I think, the scope of today's video, but I still want to share with you a couple of things I like to do. A very simple one is I like to hold my hand out like this and simply move one finger at a time, so my first finger and my little finger. You can do this with both hands, do some crazy stuff, but let's focus on this one for now. So I like to do that, then separate 2 at a time like this, like Spock, or maybe inside and outside. And these are very simple for a lot of people, but they maintain that feel of movement. So when you get home to the guitar, you're not starting from scratch. Same thing with this other exercise I like to do throughout the day. I open my hand to a very gentle stretch, and then I close it into a fist. And I do that very often throughout the day. No struggle though. I keep it very loose, very light. And again, this keeps my hand involved, right? Another variation on this I really like is open my hand and then close it like this, like a claw. So I just simply bend my fingers like this and my thumb. And this keeps these joints here nice and loose. Also, don't forget, you can always use those times when you're forced away from your instrument to work on the things you've always wanted to work on but never found the time for. Maybe it's time to get the Schoenberg Theory of Harmony book out, get some manuscript paper and work through the whole thing. Or maybe it's time to improve your ear training or any other aspect of your musical development that you let slip through the years. So these are some of the things you can do while you're away from your guitar to keep your hand and fingers in good shape. If you have any other practices you use, please share with all of us in the comments below and let us know. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, maybe give it a like. If you haven't joined us yet, please do subscribe, and I always appreciate all your support. You can check out the books, the music, and all that below. Thanks as always for being there, and I'll see you on the next video.